안녕하세요, 여러분. 하나하나 한국어입니다. In this video, we're going to study chapter 6 of Sogang Korean 1B textbook. 아파서 못 갔어요. So in this chapter, we're going to practice 3 grammar points and 3 dialogues and listening and reading. 자, let's move on. First grammar point, 못 있어요. You use 못 plus a verb. And it means you can't do something. 자, 우리 다이얼로그 한번 볼까요? 따라하세요. Repeat after me. 앤디 씨, 피아노 칠 수 있어요? 아니요, 지금 피아노 못 쳐요. We already know this, isn't it? So when we practice verb 을 수 있어요, the opposite meaning is verb 을 수 없어요. However, to native ear, instead of 을 수 없어요, we better say 못 아요, 어요, 해요 sounds more natural. So we prefer this bit. However, we teach this bit first because it is easier for you to understand because it has a contrast between these two, isn't it? Okay, so she asks, 앤디 씨, 피아노 칠 수 있어요? Can you play piano? In this case, piano becomes object, and this is a verb. 자, 칠 수 있어요. Base form 뭡니까? Exactly, 치다입니다. How would you conjugate it into a spoken form? Informal 어떻게 말해요? 쳐요예요. 쳐요. Be careful. How about formal? Spoken form 어떻게 말해요? 칩니다입니다. 칩니다. Okay. 자, and Andy answers, 아니요, 지금 피아노 못 쳐요. You can also answer what? 지금 피아노 칠 수 없어요. 없어요. And this is actually what you practiced before. However, okay, this sounds very awkward. Let's stick to this one. So, 아니요, 지금 피아노 못 쳐요. So, I'm going to ask you, can you do this? Can you do this? And please answer to my questions that you can't, okay? Using what? 못. For example, number 1, I will ask you, 수영할 수 있어요? And you should answer, 아니요, 수영 못해요. I should point out this bit. 자, with 안 and 못, location is sometimes different, isn't it? 자, for example, look at this answer. 수영하다. When you say I can't, where do this 못 located? In the middle. In the middle, isn't it? 수영하다, 수영 못해요. This is the same case with 안 as well. If you want to say you don't swim, 어떻게 말해요? 수영 안 해요. For the verbs that end with 하다, you have to put this 안 or 못 for the negation in between these two. Okay? 운전하다, for example, corresponds to this case. 운전하다, to drive. When the verb doesn't end with 하다, for example, 먹다 봅시다 or 자다 봅시다, to eat, to sleep. In this case, you locate this negation word in front of the verb, isn't it? 그래서 안 먹어요, I don't, 아이고. Okay. 안 먹어요, I don't eat. Or 못 먹어요, I can't eat. 자다 해볼까요? 안 자요, I don't sleep. 못 자요, I can't sleep. So, for the rest of the verb, we usually locate this negation word in front. 일어나다 봅시다. This doesn't end with 하다, isn't it? So, how would you say in the negative form? 아침에 일찍 못 일어나요 말해요. How about this one? 소풍 가다. I would say here, 못 가다. Why? In this case, space can be the cue. So 가다 is a verb. And 소풍, although it is omitted here, they're supposed to be 을, isn't it? So this is object. So basically, this negation word 안 or 못 should be somewhere very close to the verb. Okay? We don't think about the object. 자, anyway. 자, 그럼 한번 연습해 봅시다. Let's practice. 자, number 2 한번 갈까요? 아침에 일찍 일어날 수 있어요? How would you answer? 아니요. 아침에 일찍 못 일어나요. 자, 일어나다 becomes 못 일어나요. 자, 3번 갑시다. Answer me, please. 소풍 갈 수 있어요? Can you go for a picnic? No, I can't. 어떻게 말해요? 아니요. 소풍 못 가요. Okay. In this case, this bit is a verb. I would say this bit is object. 자, final one. 운전하다 봅시다. Number 4. 운전할 수 있어요? Very good. In this case, how would you say? 아니요. 운전 못 해요. So we have to put this 못 in between, isn't it? Okay, very good. Let me ask you some more questions here. 자, first one. 여러분, 한국 노래를 할 수 있어요? 자, 어떻게 말해요? How would you answer? 한국 노래를 자, there are 3 ways, isn't it? 자, 할 수 없어요. 괜찮아요. However, more natural one. 한국 노래를 못해요. 괜찮아요. 한국 노래를 못해요. I would say, you know what? I would say, 네, 할 수 있어요. 하지만 지금 못해요. Yes, I can, but I'm not going to do this now. I can't do it now. 자, 2번 두 번째 질문 갑시다. Let me ask you. 여러분, 김치를 만들 줄 알아요? 자, 어떻게 말해요? Do you know how to make kimchi? So if you want to say, no, I don't know how to make kimchi. 어떻게 말해요? 아니요, 김치를 만들 줄 몰라요 말해요. 몰라요. I don't know how to. 자, 그런데 you can also answer what? I can't make kimchi. 어떻게 말해요? 김치를 못 만들어요 말해요. Done. 좋습니다. Last one 봅시다. 어제 한국어를 연습했어요? Did you practice Korean yesterday? 자, how would you say I couldn't practice Korean yesterday? 어떻게 말해요? 자, if you say 못 연습했어요. 세모예요, 세모. Only 50% correct. Why? Because the base form of 연습했어요 is 연습하다, isn't it? So when the verb ends with 하다, we put negation word in between. 그래서 how would you say? 연습 못했어요. This is 100% correct. Okay? Be careful, everyone. Very good. 자, second grammar point. This is the first connective ending we're going to study. 아서, 어서, 해서. Here, it means because. Because. Let me explain in detail later. 자, let's talk about the general connective ending first. You have to be careful. Connective endings. For example, connective endings. Here's 아서, 어서, 해서 is one of the connective endings. We also have 으니까, 으니까, or 으려고, or 기 전에, or 한 니은 후에, etc., etc. Korean language has so many connective endings. 자, first thing we should remember is the connective endings are used to link two clauses. This is clause 2. This is clause 1. What is the definition of clause? 자, clause consists of subject and verb. However, it can be either complete or incomplete. So if it's complete, it can be used as an independent sentence, isn't it? But usually, a clause can be also incomplete. 자, so when we link these two clauses, we use connective endings. Where? At the end of the first clause. So the second clause usually end with a proper sentence ending. 아요, 어요, 해요, or in formal, 씁니다, 입니다, 합니다, etc., etc., 합니다, etc. Okay? So clause 2 should be the main clause. Main clause, you have to think semantically clear which is the main clause. Clause 1 usually adverbial clause. So it gives you the extra information. This is the second one we should remember. Okay, be careful. This is supposed to be adverbial. 자, let's focus on this 아서, 어서, 해서. Here we used this connective ending with the meaning of because. However, you can also use this for and by means of. In total, we have 3 different usages of 아서, 어서, 해서, but let's focus on this first one, because, today. 자, let's study through the dialogue. 봅시다. 왜 어제 파티에 안 왔어요? Why didn't you come to the party yesterday? I would say this is a compliment. This is a verb. 자, and Mina answers. 다른 약속이 있어서 못 갔어요. 자, how many clauses are there? This is very important training for you to clearly understand the Korean sentences. Korean sentences, personally think, is notorious for so many clauses in one sentence. I always let my students divide the sentence into proper clusters. Here, I probably say you should cut here. So this is the first clause, clause 1. This is the second clause. As I said, second clause are the main clause. What she actually wanted to say is she couldn't. And then adverbial clause, she's giving the reason, isn't it? I missed this bit, but I guess you already know this. 자, when the stem has light vowel, a or o, we need 아서. When the rest of the vowel comes, including dark vowel, and we need 어서. The verb form goes something 하다, and then it becomes something 해서, isn't it? 자, so 있다 있네요. 자, for example, 있다 있습니다. Get rid of 다. What is the vowel? 이죠, 이. So this is the second case. So we need 어서 말해요. So 있어서. How would you interpret it? Because there is. 다른 약속이 있어서 못 갔어요. Because there was another plan, I couldn't go. From here, we can learn that this 아서, 어서, 해서, do we care about the tense here? So basically, the whole sentence is the past tense if you see this main verb, isn't it? However, do we reflect the tense here? No tense. Be careful. 자, 우리 연습합시다. 자, you're going to basically make excuses. 자, for example, left one 보세요. Left one. 일요일에 같이 등산 갈까요? This is a 을까요 grammar point. When can we use it? What does it mean? Shall we? Shall we? So she's suggesting that shall we go hiking together on Sunday? And Andy is avoiding her, saying what? 미안해요. I'm sorry. 시간이 없어서 등산 못 가요. Where would you divide the sentence? Here. So he wanted to say 등산 못 가요. I can't go hiking. Why? Why? Because there's not time. Because there's no time. I can't go. Quite clumsy excuse. 1번 보세요. 1번. 자, 왜 앤디 씨를 좋아해요? Why do you like Andy? And look at this. We have to fill the first clause basically, ending with 어서, 아서, 해서. 자, you want to say I like him because he's fun. 재미있어서 좋아해요. It's quite easy, isn't it? 자, 2번 같이 합시다. 오늘 같이 영화 볼 수 있어요? Can you watch movie together today? 미안해요. Sorry. 자, main clause 뭡니까? Main clause. 볼 수 없어요. Let's say main clause. 자, 볼 수 없어요. So you basically want to say I can't watch. And you want to add this adverbial bit, the reason bit. This is adverbial. And reason. What is the reason? 친구하고 약속이 있어요. Okay, then how would you say I can't watch because I have a plan with my friends. 친구하고 약속이 있어서 we need 어서 here. 볼 수 없어요. Very good. 자, 3번 갑시다. 어디에 가요? Where do you go? Where are you going? 자, main clause 뭡니까? 식당에 가요. I go to a restaurant. And you're going to provide the adverbial clause as reason. Why? 배가 고프다. You feel hungry. Then how would you say? I go to a restaurant because I feel hungry. 어떻게 말해요? 배가 고파서. This is irregular conjugation verb, isn't it? 자, same kind is 아프다. 아프다, to feel sick. 자, be hungry, to feel sick. They conjugate respectively. 고파요, 아파요. How about in a formal ending? 어떻게 말해요? Nothing changes. 고픕니다, 아픕니다. 자, 4번 봅시다. Number 4. 왜 보통 지하철을 타요? Why usually do you take the subway? 자, main clause, I take subway because blah blah blah. What is the reason? 지하철이 빠르다 있어요. So you want to say I take a subway because it is fast. 어떻게 말해요? Asterisk means it's irregular. Do you remember? 빨라서 말해요. 빨라서. 지하철이 빠르다. 빠르다 or 자르다. 자르다, to cut. Similar kind of irregular conjugation. 자, how would you conjugate these? Respectively. 빨라요, 잘라요. How about formal ending? Formal ending. 빠릅니다, 자릅니다. Very good if you could do it. 자, next one 갑시다. So this is basically you have to answer to my questions. 봄을 좋아해요, and you have to answer 네, 좋아해요. 왜요? Why? 날씨가 따뜻해서 봄을 좋아해요. 자, what is the main clause? 자, main clause is this one. I like spring. And why? This is a reason bit. Adverbial, and reason. So you want to say, because the weather is warm, I like spring. 자, let me ask you a question. Please answer. 자, 여름을 좋아해요? 왜 좋아해요? Because there's a vacation. 자, vacation 뭡니까? 방학이에요. if you are a student, use 방학. If you finished, if you finished studying, use 휴가. This is for workers. This is for students. 자, 어떻게 말해요? I like summer because there's a vacation. 자, 선생님은 이렇게 말할게요. 휴가가 있어서 여름을 좋아해요. 자, one more question. 자, 여러분 바다를 좋아해요? 왜요? 자, how would you say it's refreshing? Because it is refreshing. 자, 우리 refreshing 한번 써볼까요? 시원하다 있습니다. 시원하다. Cool, refreshing. 자, you want to say I like the ocean because it is refreshing. 어떻게 말해요? 시원해서 바다를 좋아해요. Done. 아주 좋습니다. 수고하셨습니다, 여러분. Very good. 자, the third grammar point 갑시다. 으려고 해요. This is quite difficult to correctly translate it, but I would say I'm planning to. Be trying to. 따라하세요. 올해 어떤 계획이 있어요? 매일 운동을 하려고 해요. 자, what did he say? What did he ask? 올해 어떤 계획이 있어요? 자, 계획 뭐예요? 이거 plan입니다. Plan as a noun. Noun. Plan as a noun. What kind of plans do you have this year? 자, 올해. 자, 올해 뭐예요? 올해 means this year. Many of my students say 2년 as a this year. However, this means this. Which. So don't use 2년. We have to say 올해. Okay? 자, and he answers 매일 운동을 하려고 해요. 자, he's planning to do exercise every day, isn't it? How do we make it? 자, base form 뭡니까? 하다입니다. 플러스 려고 하다. 자, get rid of 다. 받침 없어요. We need 려고 하다. 그래서 하려고 해요. How about 먹다? 먹다 해볼까요? 먹다 플러스 으려고 하다. How would you conjugate this? Get rid of 다. 받침 있어요. We need 으려고 하다. So 먹으려고 하다 말해요. 오케이? 자, 받침 있어요. 으려고 하다. 받침 없어요. 려고 하다. Let me change it to spoken form. 먹으려고 해요. Done. 자, how about formal ending? I'm planning to do something in formal ending. 어떻게 말해요? 으려고 합니다 말해요. 합니다. Are you planning to do something in a formal? 어떻게 in the formal sentence ending 어떻게 말해요? 으려고 합니까? 자, shall we practice now? 이번 방학 때 뭐 할 거예요? What are you going to do this vacation? And you're going to say, I'm trying to go traveling, or I'm planning to go traveling. 자, 여행을 가다 어떻게 말해요? How would you conjugate? 받침 없어요. 그래서 가려고 해요. 말해요. 오케이. 자, number 2 한번 갈까요? 여러분, answer me please. 여러분, 이번 방학 때 뭐 할 거예요? I'm going to read a lot. 어떻게 말해요? 책을 많이 읽다. Get rid of 다 받침 있어요. 그래서 읽으려고 해요. What about the formal sentence ending? 읽으려고 합니다. 말해요. 자, 3번 갑시다. 여러분, 이번 방학 때 뭐 할 거예요? 좋아요. 열심히 공부하려고 해요. You have to say. 자, 공부하다. get rid of 다 받침 없어요. 그래서 공부하려고 해요. Or informal sentence ending 공부하려고 합니다 말해요. 자, last one. 이번 방학 때 뭐 할 거예요? Very good. 아르바이트를 get rid of 다 받침 없어요. 아르바이트를 하려고 해요. Informal sentence ending 합니다. 아르바이트를 하려고 합니다. 말해요. Very good. You're planning to do part-time job. What is the difference between the future tense 을 거예요 and 으려고 하다? What is the difference? Obviously, this is rhetorical, isn't it? Because you don't know how to distinguish these two. 으려고 해요. So 을 거예요. First of all, you have clear plan, and you have definite intention. However, 으려고 해요 to native ear, you have no plan. It's okay, you don't have any plan. It just shows you have pure, vague intention. So it's okay at the end of the day. You say, oh, I couldn't do it eventually. That's okay. So that's the nuance for 으려고 해요.